Hi guys, welcome back to Seco Hub. In this video, we'll be discussing about Web Application Firewall. Right, this is relatively new term that we hear a lot in the market. Right, and most of the people will be asking you is, do you know about WAF? Have you worked in WAF before? Correct. And we think to ourselves that what is this WAF, Web Application Firewall? How does it differ from a normal firewall solution? Right, and why is it so important? And mostly you'll see even for network engineers, right, it becomes a bit of tricky topic, right? So, in order to understand better, in order to understand what exactly is a web application firewall, how does it differ from your traditional or next generation firewall, we'll discuss about what WAF is, and then, and then we'll discuss a bit of how does it work, what are the key benefits, right, and key features, and then we'll discuss on a few points on how it differs from a traditional firewall. So as soon as we're done with the benefits and the key features, you'll be able to easily distinguish between a web application firewall and your traditional or next generation firewalls. So, so basically your web application firewall, right? A WAF is a dedicated security appliance or a software that sits on in front of your web applications and filters, monitors, and basically blocks the HTTP or HTTPS traffic to and fro, to and from them. It acts like a crucial layer in defense against cyber attacks targeting web applications. So basically, by web applications, we mean servers. So if it protects servers, so this is your example of a server, right? Now, what do we say? Any sort of traffic that goes from your client to the server, right, is considered as forward. Anything that goes backwards or this part of the network, we say it as reverse. So this WAF will basically work as a reverse proxy device, correct? So I talked about forward and reverse just to give you a clarity of how you need to remember, right? How a web application firewall serves its purpose, correct? So it's a reverse proxy device, first of all, and it protects servers, correct? Second point, it works on application layer, that is HTTP or HTTPS traffic only. Cool. So these two topics. Now we know that a WAF works with HTTP, HTTPS, right, and serves as a reverse proxy device. So it basically sits on the server end, correct, not on the client end. Now, keeping this in mind, now we need to know how a WAF works. So what does it do? It will basically inspect traffic. So you can apply your inspection rules and policies. Let me rub this off. Inspection rules and policies on the WAF. Okay. So it will do inspection on the WAF. Okay. And basically, how does it do the inspection? So WAF inspects incoming and outgoing HTTP traffic, analyzing every request and response. This includes examining URLs, headers, cookies, and the content of the request and response bodies. So as we all know, when you're trying to send out traffic, right, and basically with load balancers or any firewalls, any sort of firewalls, you have a way of maintaining cookies. So first of all, it will store the cookie in the server, and then it'll check as corresponding to the connection request from the client to the server with respect to NAT and everything, if we have the same cookie or not. If not, it will consider it as a threat. Same thing, just like SNI field, what it'll do is with HTTP. Now this is not it does not work on your transport layer. It works on application layer. HTTP, HTTP. So using HTTP GET request or response, it will check the URL. Basically, the request one, it will check the URL if you are sending request to the right URL or not. If with the maintained session is sending connection to the wrong server, it will block your request right there and there. You get my point? So that is how it provides you security by stopping a lot of threats and attacks. Right? I hope this is clear and basically content and all of that. But I gave you a decent overview of how It basically stops unwanted attacks, right? And it inspects the packets. Then we have threat detection. So signature-based threat detection. We have basically used predefined signatures to identify attacks such as SQL injection, cross-site scripting, and CSF, CSRF, right? Just like how IPS works, it will have some of the signatures fetched to it, right? And every packet that comes, it will check on basis of that signature if that signature matches. If it matches, the packet will be dropped. Correct? So every company or every network device brand will have their own signatures repository that we'll basically fetch from their cloud. Right, that basically keeps on happening as per the configuration that you've made. You can also turn it off, by the way. So with that, keeping that in mind, it has the predefined filters. Just for example, SQL injection, cross-site scripting. So it will match with that, and if it matches, the packet will be dropped. So it basically protects your network using signature-based detection. Anomaly detection. It can detect unusual or suspicious traffic patterns that may indicate attack. Then we have rule-based attacks. Rule-based detection. So WAF can be configured with custom rules to block specific requests or enforce basically specific security policies. So this you can say ACL. WAF can deploy in WAF you can deploy multiple ACLs, stating that based on IP address or whatnot. Like this is in India, this you can say China. I want to block IPs from coming from China. Correct. So in a rule-based detection, GeoIP or something, you can basically imply that. It's called GeoIP, by the way. So you can deploy that configuration and unwanted packets as per the ACL will be dropped. Okay. So I hope that threat detection part is clear. Next. Next we are saying that threat mitigation. It mitigates threat. Okay. So by mitigation we mean if a potential threat is detected, the WAF takes various actions such as block the request. So it will block the request right away. Then modify the request. Modifying or sanitizing suspicious content. Right. It can also modify the request. Then it has challenging the user. So requiring users to complete a captcha or something, right? We have captcha, right? So what it can do is if it thinks something is suspicious, it can send a response back that once you finish this captcha, that you're not a robot, I can let you pass. Okay. Then it has logging and alerting. Generating alerts for security teams to investigate further. What it'll do is it'll send an email alert. Okay. Or an SNMP alert. Like both works. Right. Or it'll show an alert on the UI screen as well. So just for example, so it has all these three things that will help you basically, you know, trigger the issue and go ahead quickly and resolve the issue, even if it's a false positive. Okay. Now, what are the key features of WAF? So the key features of WAF is basically why do we use WAF, right? That is what I consider as key feature. Like, see, there are a lot of key features which will make it stand out. Correct. So if I'm using it, I need to know why am I using it? What are the key features that set it apart from the other network devices? Okay. So key features of WAF, first one is protection against common attacks. Like we said, it's signatures based. You'll use signature algorithms and stuff. It'll download the signatures from its cloud, and whatever package matches according to signatures will be blocked, dropped, modify, challenge. Okay. Then we have customizable values. So allows administrators to define and enforce security policies. Again, ACLs, right? It'll help the user to modify the configuration according to the user's requirements. Then we have intrusion detection and prevention. Just like SQL injection, XSS, cross-site scripting, DDoS, right? We have IPS as well. So IPS, IDP, IPS, basically IPS will do the whole thing for you, right? So it'll basically take proactive steps to block and mitigate your threats. It's again the same thing. It works on signature. It'll have its own IDP or IPS repository, right? And that varies from vendor to vendor. Then we have centralized management. So enable centralized management and monitoring of multiple WAP instances. So you have centralized management service in WAF, right? So By centralized means you can basically enable your administrator to use centralized management tool to monitor multiple of WAF instances. It's like an orchestrator. You can control multiple WAF devices, right? Just for an example. Then you have benefits of WAF. What are the benefits of WAF? Which basically for me is like really important because like till now you'll be feeling that most of the features are similar to a next generation firewall and it provides more the next generation firewall. So the benefits are improved security posture. So basically it will protect web applications from a wide range of threats like SQL injection, cross-site scripting, DDoS. Basically SQL and cross-site scripting are still some of the most widely used attacks. Then you have reduced risk of data breaches because you have ACLs, you have threat anomaly detection, you have pattern detection, you have IPS, all of that. You have increased vulnerabilities because since there are low attacks or whatever attacker they are getting blocked, this connection is secure, right? Then you have minimal attacks, so this will be most of the times up. Correct, zero downtime almost, right? Then we have compliance with industry regulations. So basically, it helps organizations to comply with standards such as PIDSS. That's again a common infrastructural thing. But yes, if you are part of the implementation deployment team, you know how important this is, right? So basically, when you try to reach out to the server, it goes to your default gateway, then to the internet, then to the WAF, and for other TCP and all the packets, it'll let you pass. But if you have an HTTP packet or HTTPS, it will search it as per its repository, and then if it's found to be, as per the rules and regulation, as per the ACL, as per the IPS, as per the threat anomaly pattern detection, it'll let it pass. If not, it will be dropped, challenged, discarded, or whatnot. Whatever action you have taken. Right? I hope this is clear. Now talking about the key differences between a WAF and a next generation firewall. What I would say is WAF basically mainly works with HTTP traffic, and a next generation firewall would give a broader approach. Basically, it can work on layer 3, 4, 7, whatnot. It can have like email security, it can have IPS, IDS, everything. Not everything, like it depends again on vendor to vendor. Vendor to vendor, that is what I'm writing here. But yeah, like next generation firewall will give a broader approach, while WAF basically keeps on working with HTTPS. But if next generation firewall can work on WAF, this thing also, WAF features also, why are we still relying on WAF? Because WAF will, basically give you so much inspection, right? Deep dive inspection on just HTTP traffic, or you can just say that application layer traffic. That is why it is mostly coupled along with the next generation firewall. This is a WAF, this is a next generation firewall, right? This is why it's so important that it has, how do I say it? It has most it has so in-depth packet analysis, right? That is why it is coupled with most of the next generation firewall out there. And actually, few of the next generation firewall will also have WAF, right? But this as a module is very important, right? This as a module is very important. Some of them provide WAF individually, correct? But if it's coupled in the firewall directly, well and good. If it's not, you couple it in your network separately. So I hope the idea of WAF is clear. If you have any doubts, please reach out. Thank you.